anymore. I just need to distance myself from someone that doesn't bring me joy into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that alone saddens me because he's my dad. I mean, he's been there financially. He's helped me numerous times, but emotionally and being there, say at a soccer game or anything growing up, he never has been. He's worked. I'm a first generation Canadian. He's immigrated from the Netherlands, so he's had to deal with World War II, all that other baggage, but he doesn't talk about that. So just for my own mental health, I've kind of said no, and I've not said no to him all my life, and now it was a hard decision to make.
Yeah. Well, it sure sounds hard. And Jackie, again, as with all the calls today, I so appreciate you opening up to us and being candid. So thank you very much. So let's go back to Andrew Sofin. And Andrew, before I get a closing comment from you, I just want to ask you about that call, because you must hear that situation all the time. So an estrangement between our caller and her dad, then the other sibling, the one that she thinks feels is the more favored one, passes, and so now it's her and dad and her mother in extended care, and she kind of feels badly that she doesn't have a relationship with her dad, but she realizes that she needs to step away. What would you say in that situation?
Well, isn't it interesting, because I think she said the same thing as pretty much all the other callers who have chosen that route, is that they did it for their own emotional health.
Mm-hmm.
They did it because it's what they had to do. It wasn't punishment, it was about self-preservation. That's what I've heard going through all of these calls. It's about self-preservation and ensuring that they would be okay in the future. And they finally had to put themselves first when maybe our last caller was sort of saying that she was never put first. She was the spare part, never showing up at any of the games, celebrating the older siblings while really not treating the caller very well.
Yeah.
It's going to get to you, and I think what she did is extremely difficult. She did something that was really healthy for her.
We have just a minute left, but I think this is a really important point, because the people who are calling have come to the point where they've reconciled that they're not going to have a relationship with family members, as difficult as that is. I'll bet you there are people who are listening who aren't to that point because of the powerful societal pressure to really try to keep that blood relationship going. What do you say to them?
It's enormous, and many people can't withstand it. Why do you think so many people turn to drugs and alcohol? Why do you think so many people become workaholic or end up going from relationship to relationship? Because they don't want to address that primary relationship. When I think the research is around 20 or 25% of the population actually has experienced some form of family estrangement. So these people aren't alone, even though most people feel like they're an anomaly or they feel like they're an alien. Because most of the time, people assume that those families get along well. Yes, there's problems here and there, but nothing that would lead to cutoff, when sometimes cutoff is actually the healthiest thing you can do for yourself.
Yeah, let's leave it there. Andrew, I so appreciate you being on the show so late in the evening in Europe, so thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, and it is such an important topic.
Andrew
Thank you
Sofin.
for bringing it up.
Yeah, and you're very welcome. Andrew Sofin, he's a family therapist and president of the Canadian Association of Couple and Family Therapy. He is working right now in Mallorca, Spain, and that's where he joined us from. Time now for Increasing Mysteries. Cross Country Checkup marks its 60th year on air. We're revisiting some important moments from Canada's past through the voices of our callers. October 17th, 2017, a Canadian music legend died, leading to an outpouring of grief from Canadians coast to coast to coast. Gord Downie, the tragically hit frontman, who had a commanding stage presence and lyrics filled with Canadiana, died at the age of 53. He had an aggressive, incurable form of brain cancer called glioblastoma. Family Checkup host Duncan McHugh asked Canadians for their reflections on the life and death of Gord Downie, and here's what two callers shared.
I have a very distinct memory of Gloria. I've been a lot of their concerts over the years. Been a huge fan that was all I can remember. And we played in concert at the Jubilee Auditorium at Baysight. And Gloria jumped through the crowd. He basically took a long mic cord and climbed up through the crowd. And at one point, he stuck the microphone in my face. So I'm standing in front of the guy who consider my hero. And he throws the mic in my face and gets me to say a few lines and go on how I go. But he was so connected to the people that were his fans. And we always got that close connection. And my family, my son grew up with him. And no matter what turmoil my son was going through when he was a teenager or rebelling, that was the one thing we always had in common. And in fact, he and I went to the last show here in Calgary together, and I don't know how many times we hugged each other. When I heard the news the other day, I had just dropped my wife off at work, and I heard the news, and I called my son later on, and I told him, and I cried when I told him. It was so emotional to tell him that. He knew it was coming, but as I sit here talking about it, I feel it welling up in me again. It was that connection with me that's always kept us close together.
Well, I had a moment that actually will stick in my mind forever from when I was in my late teens. When I was 17 years old, I was part of this choir in Newfoundland, the Newfoundland Symphony Youth Choir. And we were asked to travel to Toronto to perform Queen Elizabeth's Golden Jubilee celebration at Roy Thompson Hall. And the Hips were also performing for the Queen. Now we were, choir teenage girls pretty much, and everyone was so excited that we would be sharing the stage, tragically hit. And we were told very strictly we were not supposed to ask them for autographs, we were not to approach them, we weren't supposed to go near their backstage area, our area was separate. Our director wanted to keep us professional. But I didn't really know what the big deal was about. I was a pretty dorky, sheltered kid, and I'd never listened to the tragically hit, didn't know who they were, didn't know who Gord Downey was. But everyone else was super excited. We were on stage one day during rehearsal leading up to the performance, and we were just kind of hanging around doing a sound check, waiting for producers to fix the lighting, fix the sound. And this man came up to me on the stage and started talking to me. He was interested in the drum I was holding. I was playing the Irish drum, and he was asking me about it and asking me to show him how I worked with Tipper and how long I've been playing for. So he was shooting the breeze with me, and he was this tall guy wearing this sort of rocky fleece jacket, a baseball cap. And so to be polite after we talked for a while, I asked, okay, so what are you doing here on the show? Like, what do you do? Thinking he was a stage manager or sound guy. And just calmly pleased, he says, oh, I'm actually a singer in this band called the Tragically Hit. And he was so, not at all precious about it. And afterwards, there was a reception. And so at the reception, I got my program, my novelty program, and I saw him out to get him to sign it. And I said, oh, Mr. Downey, I'm Aaron. I'm the girl who did the you were. And he smiled at me and signed my program, and he said, don't worry about it, Aaron. I didn't know who you were either.
That was a great story. Also, I love that phrase, as calm as he pleased. He told me who he was. There's the two callers, Peter Albert in Calgary and Aaron Dunmore in Winnipeg, sharing their Gord Downey experiences with Checkup First Night in the Queue. I remember him. Gord Downey died 8 years ago this week on October 17, 2017, at the age of 53. And that's it for this week. Thanks to everyone who called today, especially in the second hour. What incredible stories. If you missed any of the show today, you can listen to our full 2-hour version by streaming it on the CBC Listen app or download the Checkup podcast. Coming up on CBC Radio, Your World Tonight has a report on that priceless jewel theft from the Louvre. If you'd like to share comments or appear on a future show, you go to cbc.ca/aircheck. Thanks to everyone who helped this week. Our phone screeners are Ken Mann, Andrew Roberts, Liz Mendez, and Rimsha Nasser. Our TV team, Spencer Halliday, Frankie Fiorini, Jeff Laycock, Gabrielle Vega, and Hunter C. Technical production and editing from Will Yard, Dave Modi, and Matthias Wolfson. Our production assistant is Chuck Moldock. Cross Country Checkup was produced this week by Kiata Greco, Theo Van Musicom, and Mark Kennett. Our digital producer is Tanisha Yolich, and this week our senior producer is Steve Howard. I'm Ian Nancy in Vancouver. I hope you can join me tonight for the National. And you know what? If you're watching that baseball game, we're on the National hour after hour after hour on News Network. So whenever you're ready, we're there for you. We'll have the major stories of the day. Plus, a fascinating Sunday interview, somebody named Gordon Loud. He is